The views and opinions expressed by the Real Teachers of Atlanta, LLC, are those of the podcasters and do not necessarily reflect the official policy, position, ideologies, or standards of any school district in any county in the United States. Any content provided by our podcasters, guests, and callers are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, institutions affiliated with the local government, individuals, or anyone or anything. The podcasts and all affiliated with the Real Teachers of Atlanta, LLC are used for entertainment purposes only.
She was trying to give us the podcast, y'all. Okay.
I started packing I started packing in December. I already knew it was going down.
Woo! Well, speaking of packing, let's talk about it. Teacher mass exodus and teacher retention. So I do want to start off with a statistic that I find is very staggering.
Oh, okay.
So 65% of educators were showing signs of burnout, and 85% revealed their work level was unsustainable. 54% said that they wouldn't advise that their children become teachers.
Oh. So I can admit
that's scary.
I have students that have talked to me about being a teacher. I have two stories I'm going to tell y'all. And I think one of them I may have told y'all before, but it was hilarious. The first one is that there has been a conversation in my classroom where students have asked me, this was last year, about teaching. And then I had a couple that were just like, I want to be a teacher just like you. You know, you're a great teacher. I said, don't do this. Do not do this to yourself. And I said, you only see the results of the work that I do, the hard work that I put in, the time that I spend. And I would even say that I was saying that from before I start to really set boundaries for myself and, you know, outside the classroom. We'll get to that. But I used to tell kids, don't do this to yourself. This is like punishment. Like, wow, I love that. But, well, let me tell you the next story. I had another student that used to get on my list. One day, he came in the classroom and gave me a tip.
The student.
He gave me a tip. Some money. He gave me some change that he had been collecting for me. Because he said, I know teachers don't make enough.
Oh, my God.
And I kept that change in my drawer for the longest time. So and whenever the kids would ask me for stuff, I would give it to them. Because I felt bad for I felt bad because I want to take money for the kids, but I was like, damn, he gave me a tip because I don't make enough money.
That is right, because the reality of it is, teachers teach because this is a passion. This is what we love to do.
Yeah.
I did not join or get involved with teaching because I knew I was going to make a whole lot of money. That's not why I started teaching. The reality of my reason for teaching is because I thought that I can make an impact on change. And I do think I make an impact in the classroom. But where I came from, because it's a second career for me, but where I was coming from, I saw a lot of black kids not going down the right road, and I feel like if I could come into the education, that I could, exchange one, right?
Yeah.
High hopes. Have I impacted? I think I have, but it's just not the fairy tale that I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It is hard being a teacher.
Wow.
And a lot of teachers forget their why and don't have a stomach for teaching. It becomes their reality. This is just not for me. And there's a lot of things playing. So I don't think, some teachers do come into it, I want to teach. But a lot of teachers do come into it with, they think they are built. Because you got to be built for teaching nowadays.
Right.
You really have to be built for teaching.
Why do I need to be built for teaching?
Because the kids are different.
The kids are different.
But take away the kids. Why else?
Well, it is about the kids because that's who we're teaching. So
but I don't think that that's why teachers are leaving.
Well, no, I don't think that that's why teachers. Well, that's a big part of.
Statistically, it's not. Statistically, that's the lowest reason that teachers give. So I've looked at data as well because we love some data,
right?
But teachers are not. The vast majority of teachers who leave are actually
leaving.
They're leaving because of support and administration. They're not leaving because of student
which
behavior.
Initially, when we talk of support, we're talking about student behavior.
No, think about beyond. What else do you get support from? Just someone having your back when you're dealing with anything. Recognizing that teachers are human. Hey, I need a day off, and not having. There are districts that require you. Let them know and send your doctor's excuse as to why you took a day off. Just being trusted to do your job as an adult, right? Proper work schedules that make sense. There are schools, districts, even here in Georgia, that require teachers to show up on weekends to do things. Even though that's outside of your contracted hours, they're not compensated for this additional time, and they lace everything with additional duties as assigned, which is actually not what the intentions of that statement are. But teachers, the vast majority of teachers, when they categorize why we're leaving, students was the lowest reason. It was because of feeling supported, because even with student behavior, the real reason that student behavior is an issue, even when we talked about in a previous episode, is because of the sport, because of administration. Student behavior wouldn't be an issue if admins would step in and play the role they're supposed to play. So it's really not the students. It's admin.
Well, when you categorize it, students are on the lower end of the list. But we're talking about a job where we're seen as robots.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I work at a clothing store, which I have when I was in high school, I worked at a clothing store.
Where'd you work?
I worked at Old Navy.
I worked at Strasburg Children.
Shout out to Ann Taylor. Oh, not in high school. I'm sorry, I didn't have a job in high school.
What? Well, this was,
it was like during the summer.
Yeah,
like, I had a job during the summer.
Well, I got a job when I graduated. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
I worked at
it was just kind of like during the summer. So when I was, working there, if I had a real break, no one is asking me to fold clothes. Oh, I remember seeing.
I worked at Sears too.
In the lingerie department. But when I was in college, I didn't have a job in high school. I played sports. But okay, never mind.
I felt the shade on that. Did she throw?
No, I don't.
First of all, I played sports too.
Oh, okay.
I was more of a
still play
dancer.
basketball.
That's a sport, I guess. Cheer.
Yeah, cheer is a sport. Sort of. I don't.
We support you all.
That's another topic.
Okay, so
we'll talk
no
about
one is
sports.
asking me to fold clothes on my break.
Yeah.
If I work at a fast food restaurant, no one is asking me to
Your break is
restock
separated.
the napkin dispenser
During your break.
So there should never be a time during my break where I have to go to a PD, call parents,
Yeah.
a kid talk or anything, because that is my break. And I made a point of speaking about this during one of our meetings, and it was seen as not, you could tell on the person's face, on our admin's face, that they felt like they were kind of being attacked. But it's the truth, because when I said that, everyone was like, yeah, I agree with that. So why am I the only person standing up in the meeting saying something, but you all aren't? Yes, they are. But until
like
you,
that word, did you say attack? But
they felt like I was speaking directly to them. So after the meeting, I'm in my room, they're like, I want to say the same thing. Why didn't you say that? Because when you don't say anything, that type of behavior is continually perpetuated, and no one gets a break. So now and I've worked at plenty of different schools now. Now I am forced to make my own schedule. You can take that how you want to take it. Do I do what I'm supposed to be doing? And other
contractually
obligated.
And that's it. The beginning and the end.
If I am tired,
I ain't
do you come to the meetings?
No.
Well, I do. I can't. I'm gonna tell you why I can't come to a meeting, because now I have other obligations to do. So if I am going to meetings, then what I'm supposed to be doing for said student is not.
What they are. It's a waste of time.
It is. They're called email meetings, where you could have emailed this to me.
It's an email
instead of me going to a
meetings where we're giving fake ass.
Speak your truth. Speak your truth.
Go ahead, Tom.
Let me go back before I address that.
Okay.
Attacked.
Yes, they felt attacked.
Fake meetings.
Because I'm gonna go after you.
Which are, the person who did what you wanted to do.
Right.
Because we don't recognize the people that really, I'm not saying no teachers, shouldn't be recognized. That's not what I'm saying. But we do forget to recognize teachers that are really in the trenches. right? The teachers that the students really appreciate.
You talking about the award shows that we have?
What do you mean by trenches?
Yeah,
Oh, you talking about? Oh, okay.
All the time.
Oh, okay.
And presenting.
Yeah,
Okay.
call it what it is. We ain't gotta hide it. They know.
Well, let me go back to that word attack. Okay, so we're talking about teacher retention, right? I feel myself, I'm in leadership. I graduated to be in leadership. That's what my master's is in. I have a business, right?
Yeah.
And my people, if something is wrong, I do have an open door policy. Now, when you have these open door policies, whether you like how they come or not, it is open. Right? Because this is how you presented yourself to be open door. So I have to be ready for any type of criticism or any type of thing that they're going to bring, because again, we have an open door policy.
That's what they say.
So if I'm at the school and my administrator has an open door policy, don't get tight when I ask you a question.
Right.
So I've had that happen to me. And got offended because I asked you a question that pertained to me, and I think it was a legitimate question. Now, how you took it is not my problem.
Go ahead, but you're
not supposed to have.
Beat around the bush.
That's the thing.
Don't beat around the bush.
I'm not beating around. How you took it is not my problem, but you still have an open door policy.
But that's the thing.
Beyond the open door policy,
teachers are not supposed to have
an
opinion. You are supposed to come to work,
do your job,
do what we tell you to do, and then do a little bit more than we tell you to do, and then be a counselor because that's what we told you to do, and then also be a doctor, a hairstylist, and to stand outside and console the kids while I have 40 kids in the classroom. I am not going to do that. I am not contractually obligated to be any of those things. Now, has Miss Carter done all of those things and more?
Absolutely.
Of course, because I care about the kids.
And we do it every single day.
Exactly. But when you
when
you ask me to come in to do my job, and it's 8 hours a day of the day or whatever it is, I need a break. Not 4 times out of the week, not 3 times out of the week, not you telling me that we can wear jeans on Friday. It's very simple. I said it in the meeting. We need a proper break. Period.
And not a mean of you talking about the same old stuff.
Yes.
Every single time. We should not be having the same. That lets me know that you don't have shit else to talk about.
Here we go.
We're talking about the same stuff every single meeting. Why I got to show up for this? Okay. Hold up, Rose. And to mention.
You hold up, Rose, one more time today.
Hold on, Rose. Rose, the mic is hot. Let us get in on this episode. Okay? Just listen.
What I'm saying.
There we go.
No, my thing is, what I'm saying, Rose, as a leader, thank your people.
Okay, we're gonna talk about it.
Appreciate your people, right? If you have time to come to my room and tell me that I cannot move the desk.
Please don't talk about that. Oh my God.
You can appreciate me for filling in. You can appreciate me for the job that I'm doing. Don't tell me what you cannot do, and I see you here to tell me I can't move this. It has absolutely nothing to do with nothing. This is not when I need you to come talk to me. I need you to come see me when my teacher is breaking down. I need you to come see me if you're asking me, hey, I know she's breaking it down. What can I offer? What can we do to support you? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
This is what I need from. Are you okay? What can we provide?
Rose got something to say.
Yeah, it's burning.
Go ahead, Rose.
I would.
Go ahead, Rose. We'll tag in. Go ahead.
Okay.
They do not.
Is the camera on me? They do not care. That's the end of the statement. They don't care. And the end of the day, there are administrators. I went, y'all know I like to go in on TikTok. There's an administrator who was like, I don't understand why teachers' happiness is my responsibility. Ma'am, you're the principal. That is literally your job. Leadership. You and your school set the tone, the culture of your school rests on your the leader. But if your leader, I have so many things to say. If your leadership style is trash, and the culture you stick out there is trash, secretive, and divisive, you're going to see that in your teachers. You want to know what is happening within your school and how your teachers feel? Watch them for 5 minutes. Watch how they interact with each other. Watch how they're clicked off. Listen to the gossip, because you got an ear in it, especially at our school. You got an ear in it. You know?
And the goal
you know what's
going
on. It's not a secret, because the folks that you prefer stay in your office. I ain't never in that classroom. Stay with a sub. Stay with a sub. Huh? Think we don't know. You think we don't know who the favorites are? Because I ain't never been a favorite. Because coming to my your preferred dead setup in my classroom. And then when I said, okay, I'll do it, because this was my second school at the time, right? And I do it, and I say, well, in order to do what you asked me to do, I need these supplies. And you was like, oh, well, I didn't mean for that to happen. What the hell do you mean? You tell me to do something, and you won't even give me the resources to do it?
That's right.
And then you criticize my classes after that because they were literally.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm not understanding. You're telling me someone had a problem with how your desk was set up?
Told me this is how they prefer it. Now, not that they teach in my class. They don't teach my class. This your administrator. Came to my classroom, told me how she want my desk to be set up. Told me how she think my desk be set up. I said, okay, in order to accommodate your suggestion.
What was the rationale behind that?
So that they could be more collaborative. Why were the desks set up the way they were? Because I had 37 students in my class.
That was my old class.
Right? The little bitty box wasn't big enough for 10 kids. I had 37. I'm 5'3", 160, just for reference, and I got kids 6'5" in a classroom. You know what I'm saying? They big as hell in the classroom. That used to piss me off. They big as hell in here, sitting down, smelling hot, coming from the PE, smelling like ass. And a little boy sweat. I'm not addressing what you're saying. But then you don't give me the resources. This is my issue. You ask me for things. You don't give me the resources in order to do it.
Resources
but you asked me to do it. I can't even do what you asked me to do, and then you tell me no.
Students is an issue. So all these things are issues, especially my thing is, if you see your doors revolving every year, you got to stop and what do I need to change? A teacher needs to, if we got to be accountable for our classroom, we got all these kids.
You're talking about going back to when I made the announcement, hey, we need a break. This is something that I have decided to say because everybody else is afraid to say it.
Word, right?
So no one is concerned about speaking up because they're too afraid that they're going to get on your bad side. Well, I don't care because I'm the one that controls me in my reality. But that's another conversation.
That's reality.
If you, as a leader of the school, you have to want to the leader of the school. A part of that is accepting criticism and being able to accept personality. You cannot handle that. You don't need to be in leadership at all.
So how do we get there? Because ultimately
we don't have to do anything.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about as a leader because
as a leader,
you forget. I came from a school where the AP absolutely. She been in the trenches, right? She's been a teacher. She understood, and it may have been things that I wish I could shout the school out. But anyway, it may have been things that she absolutely bumped. Like, we may not have agreed on everything.
Sure. Right.
It may have fractured some relationships time and time. But at the end of the day, we were there for the main goal for those kids.
That's right.
Whether she liked what I said or whether I liked what her said, whatever the case may be, I'm still her teacher.
That's right.
She's still going to support me. End of the day, because she's been in the trenches as a teacher. So again, I say it again, a lot of times APs, principals, they forget what it feels like to be in the classroom. They get these titles and they get to be disengaged on reality. I don't care what frame of work you in, you have to know the job of what your people do, and you have to appreciate your people, not the people that you like, because everyone works under you, right? Everybody is under you. Everybody is looking for your leadership, looking how you lead. Leadership is an important piece. Don't come and get mad because one of your people. You gotta be even tempered. You gotta be in leadership. You gotta be even tempered. You can't be mad because somebody X, Y, and Z. And if you do, you never can show your emotion. I had a administration
why not show your emotion
push my cart.
Shit. I knew this was gonna come out today, Jesus. It's a wrap.
Say what?
It's respect too, because if you're in a position, I'm expecting you to handle yourself in a different kind of way.
What do you mean by push the cart?
Right. So if this is the sun,
okay,
and I'm here and I don't want to be in the sun.
Because you're doing more than
I look because I'm doing duty, right?
More than
outside. Right. And I'm not bothered, but right. I want to stay fresh as I can be, or whatever the case may be. You're not gonna come as I'm your child and push my cart. It's a problem.
Push my roll cart to move you to the zone where they want you to be.
Right, because you're telling me you want me to be somewhere, so
that's aggressive.
Push this very aggressive.
It is aggressive.
Very, and I'm looking at you
like, I feel like that's grounds
what
for man,
are you doing? Like, have you even thought about what you're doing? Because you need to stop.
No, they have not.
You're looking like a jackass right now. Because
very much jackass.
I'm not going to do something that you're not going to just put me where you want me to be. I'm not a student.
They didn't ask you first to move? Like, hey, we prefer you.
No, because you're a teacher. In certain situations, you are equivalent to a child.
Are we? Because the kids got more rights than us.
Teachers are tired of the disrespect.
Yep.
They're tired of the favorites. Yep. They're tired of the clicks. And you're not even paying us enough to be putting with all this.
Okay, let's break it all the way down. The issue is teachers are leaving because of all that stuff. And then you say, and you're not even paying me $50,000. You're treating me. I got to come in here.
Work-life balance. I got to go home, create lesson plans.
It's not even that. You come to an expectation.
Right? And what I'm saying, if you see your door is revolving, you got to step back and say, okay, what is the common denominator? Why are my teachers leaving?
That is self-reflection.
But people don't do that.
But you don't come do that. You don't come and say, what can I do?
That's right.
No. The question is asked.
I'm telling you.
It's being asked.
Well, I haven't heard it.
It was asked, but do I do anything with what you say?
What can I do to accommodate you? What is?
I've been asked that plenty of times. Every semester,
right?
I get asked the same question.
You're not doing that, but what you do come and say, well, we're good luck on your next endeavors, and good luck with your next school or wherever you're going.
It's pride.
We appreciate
it's the pride. It's the pride, and it's killing certain schools. If you have teachers that are
good teachers,
here it is. A surge of 148% of educators have put in their resignation. So that is an indication that either people don't care or they don't care. Pick one, and it's the same.
One or two.
But here's where it is. This is what I want to get out there.
148%.
I want you to hear it.
That's a big
okay?
number.
Yeah. Because we keep saying, okay, there's already a shortage. The teacher, the Great Resignation didn't start with COVID.
It was happening before.
And COVID magnified the problem.
Because now you have time to think, I don't have to put up with this anymore.
No, it wasn't even that. Because we put additional, because people did this. The government and society was like, oh, praise the teachers because they're doing a great job and they are keeping our kids educated and they are doing what they got to do and they are going into these cesspools of germs and dying of COVID and catching COVID 2, 3, 4 times and got the long COVID and the flu and it is
spending their own money.
Oh my God. Look at how good
they were crazy to
No. You
and
were
I got
a
to be
hero.
counselor
What they
for
told
you
us,
to tell
bring your
me you're-
superhero t-shirt,
Okay, hush.
right? Wear your superhero t-shirt. You know what I wore? Captain America. Why? Shield to field up the bullshit. That's why I did it. I had Captain America on Superhero Day. You a superhero.
You participated in it?
Did.
See, I'm a
Wore a
rebel.
shield.
I ain't participated.
I did. Put my shield up. Put my shield on.
I know you did, Rose.
Because I'm that person.
I know.
But
You're a
that's
team
what
player.
happened, right? With COVID, that's what happened. Everybody was like, look how great educators are. And this great light was shown on what's happening.
Right.
A couple years after COVID, what's this, 2023?
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden, damn the teachers. They want too much. I don't know why they're talking to my child like this. I don't know why they have realistic expectations. I don't know why they want more money for the same job. I don't know why they don't want to work outside their contract hours. I don't know why this and why that. Now y'all ain't shit.
We got a hard job, but let's not talk about. Let's talk about the students' engagement, right? We go home, we create these lesson plans, we modify the word, we you know, I can't say that word, differentiate. Yes, we do all these things, and then we get in the class with your child.
What differentiate wasn't even a word until like 3 years ago.
Well, whatever.
No, I'm just saying. No. I'm saying
that we get in the class, we do all this. Don't even know what content we on.
No, they don't.
You don't know we on science. We don't know we on language charts.
Well,
it's the lack of I don't care.
But the I don't care in Joy's words is from the top down, and that includes the students and the janitors and the landscaping people. Because Joy said it best. What a couple episodes ago. You deal with the folks at the top, you not gonna get results at the bottom. You know what you said? It's a top-down problem. It's a top-down problem. So we can talk about it all day. We can talk about it all day.
I'm scared.
Go ahead, because this shit is some stupid shit.
Aggressive.
Because the thing is that teachers have to set boundaries. We've talked about that before. Setting boundaries and making sure that you set realistic expectations for yourself, because they are not being set for you. That's what the problem is.
Once again, going back to the same example of saying, "Hey, we need a break," and everybody's eyes get big. That's what I want to say too. Well, why didn't you say it? Because they are afraid to say anything.
Yeah.
And nothing
being a favorite.
And
I don't get that part.
Well, everybody want to be an AP now, and they ain't having been in the classroom long enough.
That goes back to leadership.
Not enough. What is it? Not enough
Indians. Too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
But that goes back to your leadership. If that happens in any school environment, that is your leadership allowing for that. It's just too loose. It's like, what are you doing? It's affecting your teachers, and they're all leaving. And if you think for 1 second that you're going to be able to find somebody, because clearly they just put anybody in the classroom.
Yeah.
This year, I'm not going to say what grade level, we have had a turnaround of at least 6 different teachers in one subject.
So let me say that when I came on to the school we're at, when I came on, I was told to my face now mind you, after I had signed my commitment letter, after I signed it, I was told to my face by the leadership at the school, yeah, about every 3 to 4 years, I have about a 50% staff turnover. Now, I'm a second career teacher. I had no idea what that meant, because I had never heard 50% staff turnover. I had never been employed by a place where 50% of your staff leave altogether. I just knew that this was unreal. I was like, 50% of your folks about to go every 3 to 4. Like, this was a statistic that they knew,
and they said out of their mouth.
After I signed my commitment letter.
Like you got a full staff.
Yes, because I was thinking, because I came in,
that's crazy.
Because, like, you know, because I was like, okay, I will teach math. I already had my certification and stuff done, and it was a high needs area, right? So I walk into the door, like, when I tell you, wanted me, I was like trying to understand. This is like, it felt like the NFL draft around there.
And then it's the support.
It did, because you said, I was like, I'm a math teacher, but everybody wants you.
If it's new teachers, especially with support,
it was crazy.
I don't, you're not providing enough support. You just put somebody in something and boom, figure it out.
your first year experience? I remember you joined us mid-year, right?
She did. No. She came at the beginning of the school year.
I thought you joined us halfway through the year before.
No.
Why do I think that?
I don't know.
Because I don't think I saw you at first.
She was told not to go down and see you. That was a pact that was made, so there's probably.
Oh, I forgot there was some underlying issues. Good, continue.
Okay, so talk about.
How was your first year experience?
Well, my first, we're talking about. Well, not at.
I'm saying like where we at our school. What was your first year like? Damn, the face said it all, didn't it?
So
you know what? In the beginning, I would say I did.
Okay.
I would say I did. I would say I did. But I think it's all good in the beginning.
Okay.
And then things just switch up. So I think in the beginning it's just like going to an interview, right? You put your best face, your best personality forward, and then when you hook that person in, you get to see the real what's up. Yeah. Because nothing was like my first year.
How was your first year?
And I was told you changed. No. I'm a councilwoman.
I do remember that.
You were told that you were changed.
Yeah.
You had changed.
I remember that.
And I'm always a reflection of, every action. What is it, Joy? Every reaction.
Every action has an equal reaction.
Right.
So I'm just, chiming into the environment that I'm around because I see that you not the same that you were in the beginning. Like now that I'm in, now you acting funky.
Yeah.
Like it's different.
How was yours?
I had a lot of teacher support around me. I mean, I had like a
special
lot.
Education, no.
No. When I came in,
I'm saying you came in your first.
I was gen ed.
Really? Okay, I thought you were with me.
No, I came. Remember, I was.
Okay. We both were there.
Science, so I was a gen ed teacher. I wasn't acting as like I needed support. No, I was a gen ed teacher because that's the role that I signed up for. So I had a lot of support from other teachers. And what was funny, when I was trying to do my testing, the leadership at the time, I was like, hey, how do I get in, so I can get paid full time? And she told me, oh yeah, just go take the GACE. I mean, it wasn't like that, but it was kind of like it was. There were no instructions. There were no, and what is this? Hindsight is 2020 or whatever. When I look back at it, this particular person does not need to be in leadership.
No, I agree.
At all.
She don't.
At all.
So
I mean, we not to say who is who, because there are a lot of different leadership that came in and out.
Yeah,
but they just don't need to be, because if you want your school to be proficient, you should have some type of standards in place, some type of organization in place where teachers can actually know what they're doing. Matter of fact, we have a lot of turnarounds with a particular subject at our school. And he was, we were working together, and he was like, hey, do you think I should take this job? And before he could get it out of his mouth, I said, you better take the job. He is in love with the school that he is currently residing. He is, and he just can't believe that he even stayed at the school that he was working at. I'm like, you need to go, and God will lead you to where you're supposed to be.
And that's the thing is, for me, it's just no picks and chooses, and that's what you run with. And then the people that you favor, you seem to always forget the people that are really doing the work.
So but when I started, just to kind of give that some insight to that, I started as gen ed, but I came there as a sub to the same school. So we started off, but I think I came after you. After you and after one other person. I was there the same year. We started as teachers on record the same year, but I came in as the following school year, but I came the previous year as a sub to see if that's where I wanted to go. And drunk the Kool-Aid. Everybody was really, because the staff, I call it that because the staff, the other teachers were so nice.
Right.
People were really, really nice. And like, there was a language arts teacher, because I was in 8th grade. Right. And there was a language arts teacher there that was super nice to me. And when I say anything I needed. He was like, "Oh, let me show you how it's done." Like he was like really on it. And then the next school year, he was gone. I was like, "No, where's
that
my
same
buddy?"
year when I came in, and there I was just, it was like a little village. Everyone was so nice, and we would sit and eat lunch together.
And so they clicked up.
No. It wasn't about the clicking. 8 of those teachers from that
they were gone.
grade level left. And so I'm like, what the heck is going on? Yeah. I mean, they were like leaving because their leadership that was with them before had set up shop somewhere else. Yeah. So their leadership made it clear.
That leadership is still taking teachers. They were still taking teachers last year. Still recruiting.
Being leadership positions just don't have a clue.
But you gotta.
Isn't that they don't have a clue, or they have a clue?
Well, this is why, because like I've managed before. Before being a teacher, I was a manager. Hold on.
People like
hold
I understand
on,
that
when
the
as a manager
is supposed to be responsible for the whole school,
right? And
the APs are supposed to be responsible for the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So let's make sure that, from what I was told, right? Mm-hmm. So let's make sure that our APs are doing what they're supposed to do as in leadership. Because here's the thing, I don't want you, if you don't like something I said, and then I'm trying to follow with you, and you showing me off, and then I see you and your AP chalking it up, thinking y'all got one up on me.
Right.
Little do you know, you don't.
Right.
I can go in any day.
Right.
I mean.
Well, I was gonna say, as a manager, right? When you are
I'm teaching because I want to teach.
Right.
But the thrill is, starting to leave because
the thrill is gone.
The thrill is
gone. The thrill is gone.
The thrill is leaving. Because your APs don't know how to AP, and your principals don't know how to principal.
But that's what I was gonna say. When I've managed people before, management, regardless of whether it's in education, private sector, public sector, Fortune 5. Single person below you is how many levels below you they are, right, in a hierarchy. And ultimately what happens, what we are seeing, or at least what I would say really across the board, is it's a couple of things. One, we are fast tracking people to administrative levels that have not shown they have these specific qualities. What we're saying is, join a leadership cohort and now you can be a principal or an admin. And reality, everyone should not be an admin. And then every time there's a black man in a school, they automatically, because let's call it what it is. Every time a black man shows up in any school, they're going, admin is what they came in for. We got one that told me to my face that's why he was here.
To be an admin.
To be an administrator.
Was he good,
nothing about, hell no, he ain't good. Okay. Walk around shit.
But we do need strong male, African American male presence in the schools.
But
you have to be passionate.
But you don't have to be an administrator to be a
That's
strong
true.
presence.
No. I'm saying, but you don't have to. You can be a teacher. You can
correct.
be.
You can be a janitor as long as you have that. For their position, right, and take ownership of that role, and stop lying about the open door policy, because that's what it is. Stop, because they do ask all the time, what can I do for you? But they don't want the answer. Correct. They're just checking a box. They got a list.
In order to be a good leader,
exactly,
you have. You want me to have a relationship with my students. You have to have a relationship with your people. You have to be able to know how to follow as well. You gotta know how to do your people's job. You know how to put the right people in the right place. You have to be in the trenches with your people. And a lot of times, these APs in these, let me just say administration, let me just put it as a whole, that's not the case. When I say person, you gotta know show some type of concern of your people.
But you gotta be
like
sincere though.
If your people, like I was in an accident.
No fake care. Oh my God.
I was in an accident. I have not a year ago, I have not to this day for my AP to come ask me or anyone in administration, how are you doing?
Yeah,
but yet I showed up for work because I wanted to, be there for my students, but not yet. But only thing you can point out or see is something if I ask you the wrong question and you feel a way about that. But you have yet to see she shows up for work. She makes sure she has what she needs for these kids. These students love her presence. They love to be in her room. They love to be around her. I see how they interact with her. She don't call us for much for anything. You don't see that piece. And you have not seen, let me see what she needs. Is she okay?
Because you're not
what
a human.
happened after her
accident?
Right? What can I do? Like I said, I come from, this is my second career where I had an awesome supervisor, right?
Yeah.
But then I've had a place, I can look at the school system now like I look at the post office. I'm not longer working there. They just want a body to deliver that mail.
Right.
They want a body in that classroom to deliver that lesson.
That's it.
But Joyce said that you're a robot in the classroom. But I will say to add
the fact that I have to now beg to go to the bathroom.
Oh, let's talk about it. So we can talk about that. So first year there, I had to have surgery, right? To have my gallbladder removed, call my bullet wound, whatever, right? This is the first year. My first year at this school we was all at. I had to send emails to request someone come to cover my class to go to the restroom. Because during my planning period, I couldn't go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came back to work a week before I was supposed to, right? So I showed up to work a week before because I missed my kids, and I was like, I want to be present for my students. I didn't want them to have a sub for this much time.
Right.
I had to send emails to request to go to the restroom as at the time, 35-year-old. Yes, I had to ask, is there someone available? Send it to the entire administrative team. So there were like 9 people getting an email that I need to go to the bathroom now. That was so dehumanizing.
Who wants to work at a job like that?
That's what I'm saying. And then let's fast forward because, I've continued to have issues with my stomach, right? There was then a time that I was told, well, instead of sending an email, just push the button. So I have an emergency. I need to go right now. I'm having those people with IBS and gallbladder issues. You already know. it ain't no stopping the train. Got to go now. I'm pushing the button. I'm panicking. Because I'm like, I'm going to shit on myself in front of these kids. That's what I just knew that shit was about to go down. I'm pushing the button like a maniac. Do you think a single person came to save me? No. Do you know that the kids did? Because my students was like, go ahead, Miss Rose. They not coming. We'll be good.
That's
you
so
go
sad.
and come back. Do you know I had a kid at the door
so
that was like, I'll watch the door. We gonna sit here and do this work. And the kid that understood what was going on was like, I'll explain it to the small group. Because the kids was more supportive than any administrator.
So just to piggyback on what you said,
I was
the kids are at the bottom of the list of reasons why.
That's why. 35 kids,
a
full classroom. Do you know you couldn't hear them down the hall? I'm on the way back.
That's so
you
sad.
could not hear them down the hall. They didn't act up. They didn't show up.
Know, like,
the kids will take care of you before your ain't shit.
Like, they
kids know what admin ain't.
They know some of them. They know, right?
Yes,
they'll support you. They will support you.
They got your back.
And they will. They know when you.
They know.
They
know.
They're not oblivious to what's going on.
I feel like that is, but I think that's why I said the bottom
dehumanizing is treating us like we're not people.
I felt awful.
Even if you were getting paid enough, once again, going back to it, we need breaks every single day. restroom when they need to. I should be able to deliver a lesson to children without feeling like you're going to bring them back to the classroom.
If there's
What's it going to take? We have to, as instructors, stop being so fearful of what the backlash is.
Right.
Start setting standards
gosh,
and boundaries for ourselves, because I'm not to say that teachers don't respect themselves, because we do.
And
some of us are just afraid.
And don't, you know, like, what's the word I'm looking for when I'm saying don't try to act like I'm not proficient in what, I know how to do my job.
Yeah.
So don't
don't put you in the cohort.
Because you're not doing your part, don't try to make me feel
my gosh, yes.
that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm very efficient and effective with what I'm doing.
We're professionals. Teachers across the board are professionals.
These folks holding doctorates and master's degrees.
You're not managing the school, right? You got all these perfect things for the teacher. You got all these PEs. You got all these cohorts. Now, when I'm looking at my email, I see when I'm looking at the school, I see it's in a chaos. What's your move?
Right.
Can we talk about that? Why is it that when we recognize, because like I know for a fact that certain administrators at our school have been reported to Human Resources for their lack of professionalism and their lack of leadership, right? I'm just gonna put that out there. It has happened. That I know for a fact it has happened. What happens what happens? Why is that an issue? Because it's like they keep coming back. The same leader who has problems continues to show up.
Here we go again. This is episode. What episode is this?
4, 5.
Okay,
five,
I said it in
5.
episode 1.
Yeah.
It's from the top down. Period. Yeah. It's from the administration for the most part. You may have some that aren't going to really do not to say that they're not going to do their job, but they understand where we're coming from.
Yeah.
They understand that from the top down, they are the ones that are going to control the admin. Admin is going to pretty much do what the county tells them to do. They're not going to deviate from that.
Yes, they do. Because you know what's crazy? Because different schools, you have a whole...
Some administration, they do deviate from what...
I think that the deviation is what causes chaos and problems. I think that the ones that deviate are the ones that see so much loss. I think that the ones that,
then you're
that are better
going into
leaders...
these classrooms for these teachers that you don't acknowledge, right?
Yeah.
And you're stealing their stuff.
Or you say the work that they did and then say somebody else did it.
That's still
You're not... you put them in X, Y, and to the Z, but you're stealing their stuff.
Yeah.
I look up. You doing something? You using communication. You using You're using the same thing that I'm using in my classroom, but you acting like I don't know what I'm doing.
You have free jean Fridays. You can wear blue jeans on Fridays.
That's all. Okay.
Or
that's
trash. You have a gift in your mailbox.
If I get another
melted snowman, that's the thing. Here we go
that
again.
Melted snowman, that's some bullshit.
Hey,
I keep melted snowman. I don't need no melted snowman water bottle.
But seriously,
put some. Yes, you didn't get your melted snowman.
It's supposed to be a snowman in them. Anyway, that's what they do at a lot of different schools. But anyway,
melted snowman.
We as teachers have to start saying no. Yes. Either I've told you no, or I can get in my car and go home. But then again, a lot of teachers, like, they have families, they may be afraid to say certain things. Some teachers are just fearful.
Do you know it's really hard to fire a teacher though?
I know it is.
It's
and
hard to
don't know that.
So we had a whole conversation about teacher contracts, and I know we said we would do an episode about it, and I really do it because I pulled contracts from a lot of different districts around here. It's hard to fire a teacher. It is easy to fire a principal and an AP.
Yes,
it is hard to fire a teacher because before I can terminate you, I have to prove that you are not effective. And I cannot just simply say that your test scores, even if they are bad, align with the rest of the school, then that does not make you ineffective. Right. And I think to Joy's point, teachers are simply afraid. If I say something, if I go against the grain, because just like when you said, no, I'm standing up, that same thing happened to me. bunch of teachers came. Remember that? A bunch of teachers, we talking about, oh, we not having 5 meetings a week during our play time. I said, y'all, we don't need to do this.
Right.
And everybody was like, oh, you're right, Rose. We shouldn't do that. And then I went to go back for us. And I said, well, a lot of us feel this. When I went to the AP, hey, you know, and I rested on that thing. I remember talking to you about it and saying, like, I want to make sure I come correct. I don't want it to come off like I'm being an asshole or bitchy about this, but I want to be upfront about this. I want to address this issue.
But why do you have to be nice about it, though? But not to say aggressive, but why do you have to say, oh, okay, well,
right,
not to say that's what you did.
Because it's an open door policy.
But it is.
Right, but I still felt like it was not.
If you're leading me, I don't need to see, you know.
The best leaders are
what Maya Angelou said is you need to see people in 2 types of situations. In the rain and when they're angry. And I don't need to see you lose control when you're angry and you're an administrator. And I'm
We've seen that though.
Like, I know, and I'm like
literally throwing temper tantrums.
Yes.
What? You can't tell the kids what to do because you're acting like one.
There we go.
Damn. I won't say that being in leadership is easy. That's not the takeaway. You know what I'm saying? And I know we put a lot on leaders in educational realms and say, hey, be a good leader.
Because that's reality. Because the administration does have a lot of different things to tackle.
But the biggest thing that you got to do, if you don't have the support of your team, your teachers, you're going to fail. And if you don't build, like you said, you want us to build relationships, but you're not building relationships. The best leaders I have ever had were the ones that were willing to be my teammates.
That's right.
And if you aren't willing to come and help me and support me and grow me, then you are purposeless to me.
Well, no, the other teachers are supposed to do that.
So how are they going to do it if they don't know?
Hey,
you can't do it when the whole grade level just started this year.
Well,
and was fresh, and 4 of them fresh out of college.
Hey, I agree.
And my mentor, and he's supposed to be teaching me something.
Know what's going on in your school.
Yes.
The real what's going on, not fake what's going on, right?
And, you know, don't have teachers that you are excited about and you're not be excited. These are your people.
Right.
Appreciate your people that you have. Let people know that you see them.
Yeah. Appreciation does. Honestly, like, you know, I was sitting on a text message, like, look at the thank you cards for my kids from a couple years ago. Everything a student has ever given to me, I have. Oh, everything an administrator has given to me is the trash.
Right.
because the kids give it to you from the heart. Admin gives you in the budget.
Right. When something goes wrong, that's not the time.
Yeah.
I want to see you.
Come
to me when things are going right.
Yeah. Do you remember that time that one of our students had a parent that passed away? So I reported it. I was the person that this student trusted to, and I still talk to this student to this day. This is somebody that I had, and for me it hurt because I had just talked to the parent 2 days prior to them passing away from COVID. I think that was the closest person, you know, when we were all dealing, and I was having a lot of anxiety through COVID because I remember you even coming to my room. I'm sitting here boo-hoo crying and literally literally was having panic attacks over all this stuff going on. And I had never even experienced those before a day in my life. But I talk about that experience because I went to admin and I said, hey, I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling because I have a student whose parent is gone, but they're still showing up to school. Right? I have a parent whose spouse is gone. And y'all still want me to call home about performance in school. I'm having issues dealing
and every day. What were you told?
We got an EAP program. Do you know what they did for my student?
What they did?
They sent a card home. It wasn't even signed by everybody.
I'm so sorry. That is so ridiculous.
It is, and I don't say it to be. I'm not looking for a sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my point. It was ridiculous.
Bring it full circle of just showing you the level of lack of
you're not connected.
They're so disconnected, and the lack of empathy. You're just doing things just to say, okay, I did that. Okay, I did that. Okay, yeah, girl, what you got going on during the weekend?
And then you sitting up here, you going to lunch, you getting lunch from Red Lobster and Longhorns and all
this is across the county. So
but I can't go get Chick-fil-A from down the street. We sneaking DoorDash in.
No. I'm leaving to go get something to eat.
Oh, we were sneaking DoorDash. We've been sneaking DoorDash.
Like that's
Because I can't leave because I got a meeting.
What you sneaking around for?
Because I got a meeting and I got to be in a meeting, and when you don't show up to the meeting, and that's the other thing, retaliation. So when we don't show
But
up,
what's the what happens? See, that's the thing. What happens?
Nothing.
We've never pushed that edge of what happens. You gotta stop
That's
being
what.
afraid.
Do what you gotta do.
All right.
That's the end of it.
Where
do
can
what
they find
you do
us?
for you.
Where can they find
You can find the Real Teachers of Atlanta everywhere on all social media: Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and IG at the Real Teachers of Atlanta. Because we are Atlanta. Huh?
Bye.
Bye.